Welcome to the High Vibe Soul Podcast, a space where we discuss personal growth, spirituality, motherhood, relationships, and shifting old paradigms so that you can live your most authentic, soul-aligned life. I'm your host, Lyndsey, and I founded the High Vibe Soul Company to empower women and support them in becoming their highest, brightest selves. From my light to yours, I am so grateful you're here. Hello, my loves. Welcome back to the podcast. Today's episode is a mini deep dive into all things manifestation. We are going to discuss the formula behind manifestation. We'll touch on how it actually is connected to neuroscience and the way your brain is wired, your body, your nervous system, all of it. We're also going to discuss the most common mistakes that most people made. You can probably see yourself in at least one, if not all of them. I know that I could. I just hosted a manifestation and vision board event here locally in Atlanta for a beautiful group of women. We had so much fun creating our vision boards and discussing manifestation and working on our word of the year and doing some guided journaling, all the things that I personally love, I do in all my events. And the women asked afterwards, can you send us the manifestation discussion? Because they couldn't take notes fast enough and there's just so much information. So I have it all written out and I'm actually going to share it with you now. So let's dive in. Manifestation. I would say the most important thing you need to remember, it's not actually the thing that you are manifesting. And you might be looking at me like, what, Lyndsey? Yes, it is. I want the house, or I want the baby. I want the new job. No, it's actually the energy behind the thing. It's the way that you want to feel. That's actually what you're manifesting. So when someone says they want a new house, what they really want is often more spaciousness. Usually we're upgrading, right? So you want more spaciousness. You want to feel more abundant. You usually want a newer house. You want to feel maybe more peace. You might want to move to a quieter area or more luxurious. Maybe you want to move to a more bougie area. Whatever it may be, it's really the feeling that you're wanting to manifest. When someone says they want more money, really what they want more freedom to do all the things. And for a lot of people, they also want more of that security feeling, more of that stability. When someone says they want to lose weight, what they really want is they want to feel more energetic. They want to feel more vibrant. Maybe they want to feel more sexy and just more comfortable in their own skin. So really focusing on the feeling behind the thing, that is the number one key to manifestation. Now, there is a bit of a formula here, and a lot of people are only doing one piece of the formula. So first we set the intention. Then you want to hold the belief. You want to focus your energy. And lastly, it's important you take an aligned action because we can't just sit around thinking about it, right? Where your belief and your attention and your focus and your energy goes, this is where your manifestation flows. And this is not just spirituality. There's actual neuroscience behind what I'm going to share with you. For example, every time that you repeat a belief to yourself, you are actually strengthening the neural network and this pathway in your brain to that reality. So that's why affirmations are so powerful. I highly, highly recommend, if you can't find the affirmations you're looking for, just record your own on your phone. Listen to them right when you wake up and right before bed. That's when your brain is really the most malleable, especially right before bed. Listen to them in the car. Listen to them when you're getting ready for work. Any time of day, it really doesn't matter. It doesn't matter if they're on in the background. Your subconscious is still taking that in. So I'm sure you're like, okay, this sounds pretty simple, right? Yes, in theory. But there are 4 keys that I've found that are kind of the nuances to really activating your manifestation. These also are the most common mistakes that I see people making when they're not doing them. So the first key to your manifestation, again, going back to the neuroscience of this, your nervous system and your brain needs to feel safe with your manifestation. When it doesn't, this is known as the upper limit problem. You may have heard of this. Your nervous system and your brain will actually sabotage your goals because it doesn't feel safe. So you have to rewire your brain to understand my goals are safe. My goals are totally normal. They're very familiar. They're very comfortable for me. So how do we do that? When you are in a very calm, relaxed state, maybe you do breath work beforehand or meditation or a little gratitude practice, journaling. Exercise is a great way to get into that relaxed state, walking in nature, prayer. Once you get your body, your nervous system into this really relaxed state, practice repetition. Like I said, affirmations are so powerful. Visualization, you can combine this with meditation, super powerful. Creating a vision board and then looking at it every single day. Put it as the background of your phone. And then you can do mantras like, it is safe for me to have, we'll go back to the home example. It is safe for me to have a bigger home. Something like that. It is safe for me to have abundance. It is safe for me to have more money in my bank account. The second key to your manifestation, and these next few are very related, letting go of attachment. This can be really tricky. You want the thing, you want it so badly, but you can't come from a place of lack or scarcity for not having it. You can't come from a space of, I will be happy once I get this thing. No, 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 no. You got to reverse it. You have to come from a space of, I am already happy. I already have so much. I know that this dream, this desire, goal was planted in my heart because it's actually meant for me and it's absolutely possible. In fact, it's coming. It's on its way. I'm already in this energy in so many ways, so many other parts of my life. I don't even need this thing to be happy. And I'm so grateful for the other areas of my life that are showing me that this energy is already here. So we'll just keep going back to the house example. Where can you see the spaciousness in your life or the abundance in your life, the peace that you already have in your life? Notice where you already have that energy in your life and really focus on that. Energize it, feel grateful for it. Gratitude is huge when it comes to manifestation. Otherwise, you end up just constricting your manifestation because you end up in this sort of desperation or lack for not having it. And I know it's very, very tricky as humans. Like we've all been there. Okay, step 3, another letting go. Letting go of timing. Oh my gosh, this is probably my Achilles heel when it comes to manifestation because I am so intuitive and I'll get these messages like, oh, we're supposed to move, but we're actually not supposed to move for like another year and a half. But in my mind, my logical mind's like, start looking now, start planning now, start doing all the things now. You have to let go of that. Surrender is so important and trust in the universe. You have to trust that whatever's meant for you won't pass you. It's like placing an order at a restaurant. You place the order, you go back to what you're doing, it's on its way. Now, maybe this won't be the timing that your logical mind wants or that you're expecting, but it's always the absolute perfect timing for you. On a personal note, I was thinking about my examples with this. I have so many, but this baby, I actually really wanted to have another baby about 2.5 years ago. I have a whole podcast on my divinely guided path to this, if you're curious. And even though in my body, let's see, my youngest at the time was, gosh, maybe 15 months old. I mean, my kids were so young then. Now they're 8, 5, and about to be 4. But I knew we would be in complete survival mode. Maybe our marriage wouldn't survive. My husband even said he would crumble. I mean, I knew that it was not the right timing, but my logical mind was saying, yes, you should have the baby now. Let's do this before you turn 40. Your whole plan was to be done having babies before 40. And let's do this before you open your business, because I was on the edge of opening this business. I was creating guided meditations for Insight Timer at the time. And I was kind of looking at these two paths, like have a baby or open my business. And I knew I was supposed to open my business first, but I was just fighting it. Luckily, my husband blocked this manifestation. He was a hard no. I mean, I pushed for like 6 months and he was like, absolutely not. So grateful for that. But now it's funny, I'm about to be 42 and the timing actually feels so perfect. I would have never guessed in a million years that I would want a baby at 42, that I would want a fourth child later in life. I hate to say later because it's like I still feel so young, but you know what I mean. I just would have never guessed the timing. In my mind, I was like, oh, I should have my kids close together. I had 3 kids in 4 years. But actually, I'm so excited that my youngest will be 4 when this baby girl is born because I actually get to enjoy her. They're all going to be at school. I'm going to have so much time with her during the day. Life is just moving at a much easier pace. My kids can go run around with the neighbors and come back, and everyone's out of diapers, all the things. This actually feels really, really good, even though at the time my logical mind was telling me the complete opposite. And as I'm saying this, is 111, one of my favorite angel numbers. So just confirmation. But yeah, just trust the universe's timing, trust the divine timing, trust what your soul has planned in terms of timing, because it's typically better than what our human can understand. The last key to your manifestation, and often the most common mistake, is letting go of the form of your manifestation. So what I mean by this is people get really, really micromanaging and specific. We'll go back to the house example again, because this happened with me actually. It was like, I want to live in one of these 3 neighborhoods, and the house has to have, these kind of updates and all the things, right? This is really common where people get so specific and they're trying to control and micromanage instead of just allowing the universe to do its job. So you want to focus on, again, how you want to feel versus getting super detailed. Like, maybe you want to move. You just say, okay, I know I need a bigger house with X amount of bedrooms, and I would like a bigger yard, and I'm open to this or something better, this town or something better. Maybe there's a completely different town that you haven't even looked at that's neighboring, where it ends up being the perfect fit with the perfect neighborhood, a house you couldn't even imagined affording, and kids the same age, and a great school that you knew nothing about. And if you had been so micromanaging with your manifestation, you would have missed it. Now, there's one caveat to this that you'll have to look up in your human design chart. If you know human design, you can Google it online. But in your chart, there's all these little arrows, and I'm not super well versed, but it will tell you if you're a specific or non-specific manifester. The majority of us are non-specific, so we want to focus on the energy. There are a small handful of people that are specific. You are supposed to have the vision and stick with that very specific vision. That being said, it's specific in terms of maybe you have the vision, but still give the universe some leeway there. So check that out. So just to give you a little recap of what we've talked about so far. With your manifestation, you want to set an intention, ideally about the energy you want, versus getting super specific, unless you're a specific manifester. You want to hold this belief and make it feel normal to your body and your brain. Repetition is key here. You want to focus your energy and your attention on what you already have, being grateful for that energy already in your life, and trust this is happening. This dream was planted in my heart for a reason, therefore it's happening. You want to let go of the how, the when, even the what. Trust the universe is taking care of it because you place the order, and then the final step, you take an aligned action. And like I said before, you can't just sit around thinking about it, visioning, meditating on it. You still have to start taking small aligned steps, and you will get that information intuitively if you're paying attention. So maybe start small this week with your manifestation, just for fun, instead of trying to go for the big manifestation you've been thinking about. Start small and see if you can manifest something free. Like, I want to manifest a free food or drink item and see what happens. The last time I did this, it was so much fun. I set that intention, and I think 2 days later I got a delivery and I got free pita crisps from this place Kava that my kids and I are obsessed with. And we were all so excited. I was like, oh, it worked. It's just fun to play with the universe in that way, and it's low stakes, right? And then as you get more comfortable with it, start working on your big manifestations. And like I said, make that vision board if you haven't already. It's a game changer for focusing your energy and having that to look at every single day. I also am a big fan of the word of the year, so I'm going to touch on that here. I did a journaling portion to uncover the word of the year with the women at this event that I held. And if you've never done this before, you're in for a treat. It's so much fun. You choose your personal theme and your filter for 2026. And the way to go about this is not, again, bypass your logical mind, go into your heart, your soul, your intuition. Think about all of your desires and what you want to manifest this year. Notice the energy behind them. Maybe you even want to journal on them and list them out. I personally like to go into meditation and kind of lightly hold all of these. And then I connect with my soul self, my higher self, and I ask my soul, what's my word of the year? I trust my soul more than I trust myself. But you can do it in whatever way you feel is best for you. This might lead you to your word of the year right away. Often it'll take a little bit of time and you might get a few words and be like, oh, I don't know. Like for me, my word of the year is expansion, which, hello, my belly, if you're watching on YouTube, physical expansion, right? But also in family expansion. But having this fourth child is going to expand my capacity to hold more, as well as my business is really growing. So I know energetically, I'm just expanding in so many different ways. And so that is my filter for this year. And it's already pushing me out of my comfort zone. I'm really being called to create like a little free online community through Instagram chat. If you're interested, look me up, the.highvibe.soul if you're not already following me. And it's really going to be a community of just conscious mothers and women talking about all the things, spirituality, energy, whatever we're feeling that week, whatever we're moving through, just kind of like a little support system. And it's something that I got the nudge to do a while ago, and I've been kind of putting it off. But just this week, it's like, Lyndsey, remember, expansion. You're being pushed out of your comfort zone. Even if it's 30 people, it's worth it. So that's something that's going to expand me. I also am going on a retreat this weekend, and I don't know who's going to be there. I know obviously the facilitator, but that's going to push me out of my comfort zone and expand me in so many ways. I know that because the facilitator is just incredible, but also because I'm going to meet so many new people and probably some new lifelong friends based on the last retreat I went to. But it is a little scary when you're like, I don't know anyone. I don't necessarily know what I'm walking into. I know I'm in good hands. So expansion is my word of the year. And then I got 2 secondary words of the year that were very clear, that kind of are all interconnected with expansion. So it was clarity and simplicity. So I'm going to really be simplifying this year, which I have to. I mean, the more kids you have, if you're a mom, the more kids you have, the more you have to simplify your life. And if you're running a business, all the things. So I'm simplifying in every aspect. I'm also getting rid of a ton of stuff in our house, like all the clutter, getting rid of a lot of what I feel is mind clutter as well, and just really streamlining my days. And from that simplification will come more and more clarity, is the message that I got from my soul self. I recommend going into meditation, but you can also just journal on it. And I'm going to give you a few prompts here. So prompt number 1 for your word of the year. How do I want to feel this year? Prompt number 2. What do I want to experience, create, and manifest this year? And again, this might come to you later. You don't feel like you have to journal on it right away. Prompt number 3, what beliefs do I have about this? Are there any limiting beliefs that I need to replace in order to manifest? It's a big one. Number 4, what action do I need to take to align with this energy and my manifestations? And number 5, what is my word of the year? So that might help you. Let me know in the comments or send me a message. I'd love to hear what your word of the year is. My word of the year, last year it was joy, and I felt so connected to it. I actually got it tattooed on my arm. You can see here if you're watching on YouTube, because I feel that every tattoo you're calling in that energy permanently into your body, into your energetic structure. And I always want to live my life forever through the lens of joy. I'm a life path 3. I mean, it's like the sunshine number. The year before, my word was flow. I got that tattooed on my other arm because I am a recovering type A, as I always say. And I can be like a micromanagey type if I don't keep myself in check. I can fall back into those patterns. So I got those reminders tattooed on my arm. I don't think I'm going to get expansion tattooed on myself, but I am really curious to see how this year pans out. I know I'm just not going to be the same person this time next year. None of us are, right? Oh, also, I have a meditation that I created for my event. It's called the Manifestation Activation. You go into your own manifestation garden. It's a really, really fun meditation. I'm creating more and more of these like whimsical visualizing meditations because I don't want to go into meditation and have it be boring. I want it to be fun. And so I'm creating more and more of that for y'all. So I'm putting that on my website. If you want to try out the manifestation activation meditation, I think you'll absolutely love it. The reviews have been amazing. So I'll link that here as well. And I would love to hear what your word of the year is, how this all landed for you, and what you end up manifesting. So send me a message, a comment, write me on Instagram. Let me know if you want to be part of the Conscious Mothers and Women community as well. And I'll see you next time. Thank you so much for listening to the High Vibe Soul podcast. Your support means the world to me. So if you enjoyed this episode, please rate, review, subscribe, and share with a loved one. Sign up for my newsletter and receive 2 free high vibe meditations straight to your inbox. And for more ways to work with me, click the links in the show notes. I would love to hear from you, so send me a message on my Instagram at the.highvibe.soul, and I'll see you next time.